What's the difference between conventional, FHA, VA, USDA for purchase and refinance? Let's find out today on Just Mortgages. So there are a lot of different loan programs that you hear about. You hear conventional, you hear about FHA, you hear about VA, you hear about USDA. Well, let's talk about VA first. VA, you have to be a veteran. So you have to have been in the armed forces for a period of time. There's certain requirements for that, and you have to get certain special forms, honorable discharge. So most people, only about 3 to 5% of people ever serve in the military, so that's a small portion. We love doing those loans. We're experts in doing VA loans. We love our veterans, and we do those on a monthly basis. So VA loans are the most lenient. If you call the VA right now and said, what's the minimum credit score for VA loans? They'll tell you we do not have one, because they don't, because the lenders put overlays. So there's things, they establish a minimum credit score for their VA loans, and they are allowed to do that. Well, so we look at that. So it's 500 credit score. We have lenders that say they go to a 500, where you're probably not going to get a loan, because if you have a 500 credit score, you're most likely have some issues on there that's going to kick it out. So we're going to talk about 580 or higher. Your VA loans, 580 or higher, no money down. And so we can look at, you can do a manual underwrite on those. That means that a real underwriter looks at those loans and approves those loans. Normally, if you have a higher credit score, we run it through a computer program, which basically gives us an automated approval, but that is the VA program. When you talk about FHA, that's 580 and higher. Now, we tell people that we can go down to a 550, but that's 10% down, and those are really hard to get done because of the credit score issue and things that are probably on the credit report, but we're pretty comfortable doing our 580 credit score and higher on FHA. So those type of programs are really, really strong for borrowers that have less than perfect credit. Conventional is the harshest, if you will. 620 or higher credit score, which is a pretty low credit score to a certain extent, but we can get those done at 620 or higher with 5% down. The 3% down programs usually require a higher credit score, maybe 680 or higher, to get the 3%, but you can do a 5% down with those low kind of credit scores. The FHA is only 3.5. So, and people are thinking, I've got to have 20 or my credit's not really good. Well, your credit may not be all that bad. We may look at the credit report and run it through our credit analyzer and figure, hey, if you pay that credit card down, I can bump your score by 30 points. Or you have a collection on there, if we pay that collection and get a deletion letter, we call it a deletion letter, and get it removed from your credit report, your scores may move higher. There's a lot of things that can be done to improve the credit scores quicker. So our job at Just Mortgages is to try to say yes to a loan applicant and not say no. So our job is to use our skills to build up a borrower and not turn down a borrower and bring them down. Our job is to focus on the file and figure out how we can get that done for them, because they're coming to us for a service, and we need to be aware of all the rules and regulations to be able to get that loan done as quickly as possible. Now, lender, we have people that come to us and they've been to 7 or 8 lenders, and they come to us and we close the deal, and they wonder how we were able to do it. It's just because we know more of the rules, we know more of the tricks of the trade, and we know how to get things done within the rules of the game. We pride ourselves on helping every single person with a $50,000 loan or a $500,000 loan with the same hands-on treatment. Everybody becomes family with Just Mortgages. We hope that you'll give us an opportunity to help you with your home loan, especially if you have less than perfect credit. So we have USDA loans, 580 or higher on the credit score. It's 100% financing. They're rural areas, so they're always moving the maps around. So you have to check with us on location to make sure that the area you're looking is a USDA area. Now, most of the realtors know if it's a USDA area, so the realtors are usually in tune with that. So just make sure that you're aware of that. And I would always get pre-qualified and make sure that you're approved with a lender that's competent in USDA to be able to get that closed before you go out and hunt for a house. So on refinancing, there's different terms. We've been talking a little bit about the purchase side of it. Refinance, why would you want to refinance? Well, somebody comes to me and says, look, I want to refinance my mortgage. Well, the first thing I'm doing is, why are you refinancing? Are you trying to get cash out? for anything for the property or for, we call it a Texas cash out, it's called an A6. Are you trying to refinance somebody off the mortgage? Maybe you have somebody on there that doesn't want to be on there anymore and you need to refinance them off. Are you trying to do an equity split in a divorce proceeding? We call that an oilty deed, O-W-E-L-T-Y, oilty deed. You can distribute equity in a property. See, in Texas, the rule for refinance and cash outs is 80%. That means that if you have a $200,000 house and you cannot borrow more than 80% of the value, that's $160,000. What happens in a divorce and you have to distribute some of that $40,000 that's equity? Well, we can show you, so make sure if you're going through a divorce and have to get equity distribution on a home, call us and we'll be able to walk you through that, so that way it's done correctly, so we can actually refinance and pay your spouse off or pay you off if we're doing the loan for the spouse to get that equity above the 80% rule. There is a way of doing that, but it has to be done methodically and done correctly in a legal manner to make sure you can extract without having to sell the house. So we learned that many, many years ago in divorce proceedings and how to extract equity above that 80% rule that Texas has for home home equity rules. So another thing to look at on a refinance is the break-even point. Okay, so we're trying to refinance and get a lower rate. That's the only way I'm going to look at a break-even point. Because I'm not looking at a break-even point if I have equity distribution on a divorce. I'm not looking at equity, a break-even point when I'm trying to get somebody off a mortgage. The only reason it's doing this is because if they're refinancing, they're trying to lower their payment or they're trying to lower their cost of the mortgage and pay it off quicker. What is your break-even point? How long does it take to recover the costs that you incurred when you took the new refinance out? My normal is about 3.5 years. If it goes past that, we need to talk about it. If it's within 3 to 3.5 years and the cost of savings is there, then we go and I can feel good about offering a refinance. We turn down more people for refinance, telling them it doesn't make sense than we do taking them in. So we always try to give the correct advice because that's the way that we do at Just Mortgages. Are you going to give family the wrong advice? No. It boils down to this. At Just Mortgages, we want to help you make the right decisions about your mortgage. Whether it be a purchase of that first home, that investment property, that second home, or refinancing and doing a cash out, we can do it all. We can help you secure that mortgage that you deserve because Just Mortgages considers you family. If you like this video and you're looking to buy your first or next home, give us a call or visit our website.